No country really knows what they are doing about COVID-19. It's all a big test. When it comes to government and politics, we could have been more prepared and less lost today. Now we are here at home looking for ways to overcome social isolation. How have people around the world been dealing with the pandemic? Outside of our apartment, life is still happening. What do you think has changed in society since the beginning of isolation?
What do I think has changed in society?
That's a tough one.
Wow.
O sea, a veces creo que esta pandemia, ¡ay, este mosquito!
I don't even know where to begin. I feel like there are so many things that have changed, and then there are also so many things that haven't changed that probably should.
Infelizmente, as mudanças não foram positivas. Então hoje, com o isolamento, acho que todas as máscaras que antes boa parte da sociedade usavam, eles deixaram de usar.
As an actor, specifically who acts in live theater, our venues are still closed and we don't know if live theater is ever going to return, so that's really sad and heartbreaking and really daunting for me. Luckily, film sets have been able to open again, closed ones, and with certain restrictions they can still film, so that's great.
In Russian society, it's been very, very interesting. We went into lockdown, it was very serious.
Então a gente começa a perceber a falta de empatia, a falta de preocupação com o próximo, o nível do egoísmo, que assim é absurdo.
Veo que cambió muchas cosas.
I really think a lot has changed. I mean, the way people interact with each other is completely different.
There were police and military sort of patrolling, making sure that people weren't out and you could be stopped on the street.
You have some people that haven't seen loved ones or family at all this whole time. They still don't want to because they're still worried.
It was empty. The streets were empty. It was very, very strange.
Pero a veces pienso que la pandemia encerró a todo el mundo en su mundo y ahí le dio tiempo a pensar un poco. No sé, a mí me gusta pensar un poco estas cuestiones más místicamente, así que tal vez pasó porque tuvo que pasar.
I mean, I think society's changed a lot just in terms of social awareness and, you know, with all the like political uprising and focus on systemic racism.
Pasé por un proceso de reiniciación del cerebro.
And just kind of these huge, seems like mass realizations that we've had. I think that that's been good for these things to be brought to life, brought to light.
Y a buscar que a mí me hace falta, que a mí no me hace falta, que me gusta y que realmente no me gusta.
I mean, look at how trying to find products, only certain things are in stores now. Prices have gone up.
So I think some of the things that have changed are just, you know, companies realizing that their employees can work from home and still be productive.
That more people will work from home if they can.
I think that that's been really liberating for a lot of people and a lot of companies, and I hope that that's something that companies will keep going forward.
But in Russia, when things started to open, it was very, very interesting.
Honestly, in Toronto, I haven't felt what has been different.
There were some people who were still taking a lot of precautions. Officially, we're supposed to be wearing gloves and masks if we go into buildings where there are other people.
People are shopping, dining, drinking, and party outside like nothing is happening.
But there really was a popular mentality that once the city went through their stages of opening up, that the challenge of COVID was over. You know, I had people telling me, oh, let's go to the cinema. The cinemas are open because COVID's over.
Je pense que ce qui a changé, c'est mon rapport à mes parents d'élèves, parce qu'on se zoomait on utilisait Zoom et on se zoomait toutes les semaines.
And so that was a very interesting mentality, which didn't fit my own thought process, but it is quite common here.
Being alone, we realized how much we like to communicate with people and see them and do activities with them.
It's definitely opened up more for people to be more social, like online.
Online, or, you know, 6 feet away and 6 feet away and 6 feet away.
I think a lot of people started to communicate a little bit more, mainly in the different social medias.
6 feet away and 6 feet away and 6 feet away. And
Ensuite, je pense au niveau personnel, il y a eu beaucoup d'appels FaceTime, beaucoup de WhatsApp, voilà, beaucoup de coups de téléphone aussi.
So using, for example, Messenger and doing like video chats.
I have always worked with social medias, but the quarantine has certainly added some more to my list.
There are like new platforms like Zoom and things like this where we can perform online or have DJ set online or have, I don't know, whatever you're doing as an artist online, but there's only so much you can do with these platforms, you know?
I'm also a gamer, so I used to play with like 5 friends, and we were getting online on our games, and we were just like video chatting at the same time as playing.
In addition to the increased use of social medias, what I have noticed the most is the care with hygiene.
Hyper alert to hygiene every day.
When I always go to do groceries, I always see people wearing a mask or like washing their hands all the time.
Évidemment, les mesures sanitaires sont 1000 fois plus présentes.
You're like really cautious around people.
1000 fois plus respectées.
It's hard to know if these changes are going to be in place long term and if they're actually going to equal out to better quality of life for people that have been, you know, traditionally put down or oppressed.
So I think that in society we just discovered what we thought we had for granted, and everybody realized that life can actually change quite fast.
I hope that those are changes that actually stay and that some true good comes from that.
So we have to adapt ourselves to the different like directions and the different guidelines.
and make the best of what we have.
6 feet away and 6 feet away and 6 feet away and
Don't forget to comment below what changes you have noticed since the quarantine started. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and give them some love.